Hi, we are moving on to the next stanza. We have completed the second one. We are going to the next stanza where we are going to discuss more about the condition of the villages and how they are prompted, cheated, influenced by the rich people and also the politicians. Okay, so it is in the news that all these pitiful kin are to be bought out and mercifully gathered in to live in villages next to the theatre and the store, where they won't have to think for themselves anymore, while greedy good doers, beneficent beasts of prey, swarm over their lives enforcing benefits that are calculated to soothe them out of their wits. And by teaching them how to sleep, they sleep all day, destroy their sleeping at night the ancient way. So, what is the good news for the poor people? It is in the news that all these pitiful kin are to be bought out and mercifully gathered in to live in villages next to the theatre and the store, where they won't have to think for themselves anymore. So this is a continuation of there is a continuity in each words and each lines, but we'll break it up and try to analyze. It is in the news, so it is the media keep on advertising that the governments are planning schemes for the welfare of the poor people. So everywhere where some villages are giving birth peacefully in the name of development, some people will come, government schemes will come, and after so many years we can see they are just thrown out of the village. And in all the Delhi or Bombay streets, you can see these slums built by people, or these people were from different villages and they have been promised jobs in cities. They have been prompted by the good promises by the politicians, and when they sell their land for these business people because they have some benefit out of their land, they are torn completely out of it. So it is that business class that we are going to discuss. Like we are discussing how Lakshadweep is suffering, or so many villages where many government schemes in the name of development are ruining people's peace, people's lives, normal lives. So you can really connect this sentence to the contemporary society in which we live. So it is in the news that all these pitiful kin. So look at the way this poet is describing them as pitiful kin. Pitiful means deriving pity, sorrow. When we look at their life, we sympathize with them. We feel that sorrow inside us. So these are pitiful kin. Kin are relatives, the dear ones, the dear people that we actually have contact with. So for the farmers are considered as a close community to him. He feels them as his own relatives, kin. So it is in the news that all these pitiful kin are to be brought out and mercifully gathered in. So this is the news. What is the news? The media advertisement or government's promises. They are planning some schemes for the welfare of the poor people. So, do you think these plans, schemes will help them in a positive way? So, they will overcome. Is it true? No, we know that the promises of the government for the people, poor people, are not seriously meant, and therefore, most of the time it remains just promises, and almost all the time it is forgotten. It is like promises, like election baits. After they won the election, they forget all the promises they have made, and it is bureaucratic trick to extort money in the name of poor people. They make money out of the lives of poor. As these poor people are very very innocent, without any crookedness inside them. They believe people outside, and they are ready to do things like whatever they tell, because they start hoping, like they are hoping these rich people to buy things. They start hoping for a good life, like uh, the life they see in the films. So that is why the poet is calling them pitiful kin, are to bought out and mercifully gathered in to live in villages next to the theatre and the store, where they won't have to think for themselves anymore. So these pitiful kin refers to the villagers who have been deprived of their home and land. So what happens after these schemes, these plots start to play a role in their lives? They are thrown out of their village. They are deprived of their home and land. They have nothing. So you have various film in Malayalam or Hindi where these villages are cheated. You know, so they will be mercifully gathered in to live in the villages near the theater or store, near the cities. Before to it happened in Delhi suburbs, we can see Delhi wasn't a big city like we are seeing it. So when we read M. Mukundan's experiences as an embassy official there, we can see that Delhi, all the nearby places of Delhi was a village. So the innermost parts of village people were brought to live in the villages near the Delhi city. But later what happened, the cities in the name of development, they develop automatically. It gets developed, and these people who are living in this villages nearby the cities are thrown out, and they are compelled to live in the roadsides, and at that time they lost everything. They have no life. There is a film in Malayalam where you can see this low class community, how they lose their village, their culture, and instead there are, huge mansions, huge flats coming up. ഇതില്ലേ നമ്മൾ ദുൽഖറൊക്കെ അഭിനയിച്ച ആ കമ്മിറ്റിപ്പാടം. So that is the condition of the poor people, those people who live in villages, who did farming in their lands, and they are losing everything with this crooked businessmen and politicians because they have power and money with them. To live in villages next to the theater and to the store, they are promised that you can live next to the store, theater, like you see in the films. സിനിമയിലൊക്കെ കാണുന്ന പോലെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ജീവിക്കാം. You can see films every day. You can go to store. You can work in many places. There are so many factories. So there are so many promises that these people are making to the villagers. So where they won't have to think for themselves anymore. So this is what they tell them. There will be nothing to worry. There will be no nothing to think of yourself. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒന്നും ആലോചിക്കാണ്ട് ജീവിക്കാം, അത്ര സുഖമായിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ജീവിക്കാം എന്നൊക്കെ പറയും. So politicians have assured them of providing all the basic necessities, and they will not have to worry about anything in future. So they start dreaming a very nice future with with so many fortunes or jobs for their younger generation. So they will be influenced by these people, and they will really move, leaving their land. So once you leave your land, you have nothing else. So that is the condition of farmers. That is why our farmers are in protest for so many months, because they fear if they lose this time, there will be nothing left for them. So that is the condition. While greedy, I hope you have understood the idea. While greedy good doers, beneficent beasts of prey, swam over their lives, enforcing benefits So he is bringing two parts of speech here. I will explain it later, like oxymoron, greedy, good doers. Greedy and good, these are just opposite words. Greed will never be considered as something good, but he is calling such businessmen, such politicians who are giving false promises to these villagers as greedy good doers and beneficent beasts of prey. So the business class and the political parties and the leaders are the greedy good doers mentioned here. Okay, a greedy person cannot be a good doer. Those good doers intend to make money out of the poor people by appearing beneficent to them. So these poor people will think that, oh, these people are very kind to us, they are ready to provide necessity things, they are talking about to our growth, our improvement, our development. So they are tempted to believe in their words. That is why the poet is calling them greedy good doers. These people who are approaching with a business plan, with a scheme, they are actually greed. They are greedy to get uh, money out of their land, this poor farmers' land, by building industries or whatever it is. They are greedy to make money out of these poor village people. So similarly, greedy good doers, beneficent beasts of prey is also an indication to the greedy people who make money in the same name of social, political, charitable work. So they will come like charity or political scheme, it is government scheme, and but most of the time it will be corporates and they make money out of it. So we can see so many policies made by governments in India today are very supportive to the corporate world, and these rich companies flourish and they make money out of this poor people. So the exact thing is what Robert Frost is also describing here, and he calls them greedy good doers, but good in the sense they are never good, they are appearing as good but they are greedy, like beneficent beasts, they are beasts, they are cruel animals, they are like but they appear to be beneficent. എന്തൊക്കെയോ നന്മ ചെയ്യാൻ വന്ന ആൾക്കാരെ പോലെ they appear to be, അപ്പോൾ പക്ഷേ ഇര പിടിക്കുന്ന കഴുകന്മാരെ പോലെ ഉള്ള ആൾക്കാർ. So beneficent beasts of prey. So these two figure of words, phrase, we can see this figure of speech oxymoron where good and bad contradictory words come together, and we can also see the alliteration greedy good. The first words sounds first letters sound similar, greedy good, beneficent beast. So we'll talk about it later. Swarm over their lives, enforcing benefits that are calculated to soothe them out of their wits. So here I hope you understood what the word prey means. Prey is an indication how they are making the people prey. ഇരകളെ പോലെ കാണുക അല്ലേ? So how do the rich enforce benefits on the people? How they are going to bring benefits in business? They always make promises with glossy appearances. Business class is always, their appearance itself is very decent, very rich. They wear rich clothes, rich perfumes or ornaments. They look very decent, and they impress us with their good language or English language, and we fall for them. So these are these people, how they appear to be, or how they are enforcing benefit to the poor class. They appear as of great value in them. The rich business people convince the poor of the advantages of their new schemes and promotions and make them buy their products and their customers. So they are very smart people. They know how to make money out of the innocence of the poor. So they are very calculated. Okay, what sort of calculation is made to soothe the wits of the poor? Wits means the thoughtfulness of the poor. ഈ ചിന്താശേഷി മനുഷ്യന് ചിന്തിക്കുന്ന കഴിവ് പോലും ചില ആൾക്കാർ പറഞ്ഞില്ലാതെയാക്കും. We believe so many swamis, such figures, forgetting all scientific evidences, all logic that may work inside us. നമ്മൾ വിശ്വാസത്തിലൊക്കെ വീണു പോവും. പലരും കുറേ ലക്ഷങ്ങളൊക്കെ മുടക്കും വിശ്വാസത്തിൻ്റെ പേരിൽ. Only at the end they will realize that they lost everything, because they know how to soothe the wits, how to affect your intelligence. നിങ്ങൾ എങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ പാട്ടിലാക്കാം അവർക്കറിയാം. The business class, business minded people, they attract villagers with their well planned promotions, offers, promises. ഇങ്ങനെ എഴുതി കുറേ colorful brochures and posters they will bring you, and they will show you these are the positive sides. You will have a very good future, because it's a business. And in our country, divinity itself is a business, so that way people are always compelled, or we are living in advertisements and we tend to buy things. കുറേ സാധനങ്ങൾ വാങ്ങിക്കൂട്ടാനൊക്കെ നമുക്ക് തോന്നുന്നത് how attractively they present these items before us. That is why these promises and offers are such a way calculated that the poor people cannot escape the traps of the rich. They are trapped in the sweet words of this business class or rich people. So the businessman's calculations work well, as there is a more beneficent brain behind all the promises. So I hope you got the idea how these people are attracting, influencing villagers to move to the nearby villages of cities so that they can enjoy their life. So these are all false promises, of course. So swarm over means they will fly like in if they think something, അവർക്കൊരു ലാൻഡ് കിട്ടണം എന്ന് വിചാരിച്ചാൽ they will buy all the lands in nearby places, and at last you will be left with no choice at all, just to sell your land. That will be the only option left with you. So swarm is a word when we use with a group of things flying over you. ചിലപ്പോൾ ഇങ്ങനെ വെട്ടുകിളികളൊക്കെ ഇങ്ങനെ എന്താ ഫാമേഴ്സിൻ്റെ ലാൻഡ് ഇല്ലാതെയാക്കാൻ വരും. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഈ ആൾക്കാർ വരുന്നത്. കുറേ പക്ഷികൾ ചെറിയ ചെറിയ ഇൻസെക്ട്സ് ഈ ക്രോപ്പ് മൊത്തം ഇല്ലാതെയാക്കാൻ ഒരുമിച്ച് വരും. ലാക്സ് ആൻഡ് ലാക്സ് ആൻഡ് ലാക്സ് amount in huge crowd. So such like destructive people are these people, who business people and these politicians, that are calculated to soothe them out of their wits. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് ചിന്തിക്കാൻ പോലും കഴിവില്ലാതെ അവരങ്ങ് it is very easy to influence them. And by teaching them how to sleep, they sleep all day. How? Who teach the poor people to sleep? The rich people, through their alluring promises of peace of mind and prosperity of life in future, and they will assure the villagers that you can sleep very peacefully. That is a promise. Are the poor people able to sleep when they are moved out of their place, their land? Who are really able to sleep after that? So the poor people are unable to sleep as promised by the rich, as the promises were not meant to be. അവർ പിന്നെയാണ് അറിയാം, these were all promises only, these are not going to work. So false promises. So after they realize that they lost in everything, their land, their crop, their existence, they have no job left with, all these were only promises, they are not able to sleep. So, on the contrary, the rich people are able to sleep peacefully with the satisfaction of making themselves richer by exploiting the poor. അവർ കുറേ പൈസ ഉണ്ടാക്കി പിന്നെയും പിന്നെയും പൈസ ഉണ്ടാക്കുക. So they sleep well. And by teaching them how to sleep, they sleep all day. These rich men sleep all day without taking all the peaceful sleep from the villagers. Destroy their sleeping at night the ancient way. And how did they sleep in the ancient earlier times? How normally they sleep? They work all the day and they sleep well at night because they worked very hard in their lands so that they could sleep peacefully. The influential rich people give the poor great promises and exploit them to make profit out of them. This destroys sleep of the poor people. So they lost everything, even the sleep that they had before these people came. So ഉറക്കം വരെ നഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടു. ദിവസവും പകലും രാത്രിയൊക്കെ കിടന്നുറങ്ങാൻ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പറ്റുന്ന പ്രോമിസ് ചെയ്യാത്ത ആൾക്കാർ പിന്നെ ഇവർക്ക് മനസ്സിലാവുന്നത് രാവിലെ ഉറങ്ങാൻ പറ്റില്ല, രാത്രി ഉറങ്ങാൻ പറ്റില്ല, ബിക്കോസ് they lost everything. So they lost sleep means they lost their peace. They are again sank into utter poverty. They are deprived of their land, their life, their lineage, their history. So this is the condition of poor people villages that we are describing. So I told you about two figures of speech that I mentioned. So this is one is oxymoron. It both the figures of speech applies to this example: greedy good doers and the beneficent beasts of prey. So it is a rhetorical device that uses an ostensible self-contradiction to illustrate a rhetorical point or to reveal a paradox. So this is we have discussed greedy good doers. Greedy and good came together, which are opposite words, contradictory words. Beneficent beast, beneficent and beast, contradictory words. Thus these sentences are oxymoron, and there is alliteration as it is repetition of identical initial consonant sounds g, g, b, b, closely associated syllables within the group of words. So it is just definition of these figures of speech that we have discussed. By this I finish this particular class. We will see in the next class with the continuation of the next stanza. Until then, take care. Bye. Thank you so much.